life. You're running 3 very big companies. You have very big stakes and ownership control of 2 of those at least. What is your succession plan if you suddenly can't execute what you're doing, both in terms of who runs the companies, but as importantly, who votes those shares in terms of what happens longer term and strategically? What have you got a plan for all of those?
Yeah, succession is one of the toughest age-old problems. It's plagued countries, kings, prime ministers, and presidents and CEOs for since the dawn of history. There is no obvious solution. I mean, there are particular individuals identified as that I've told the board, look, if something happens to me unexpectedly, this is my recommendation for taking over. So in all cases, the board is aware of who my recommendation is, which they may choose to. It's up to them, of course. They may choose to go a different direction, but there is in the worst case scenario, this is who should run the company. The control question is a much tougher question, and something that I'm wrestling with, and I'm frankly open to ideas, because it certainly is true that the companies that I have created and are creating collectively possess immense capability, and so the stewardship of them is incredibly important. I want to make sure that the stewardship is ultimately accrues to the benefit of humanity. That's the idea, is the furtherance of civilization. Not that we're always successful in that, but that is aspirationally our goal. I have one idea which is sort of partly in place, which is to create kind of a sort of an educational institution that would control most of my vote. But this is not a case of automatically. I'm definitely not of the school of automatically giving my kids some share of the companies, even if they have no interest or inclination, or ability to manage the companies. I think that's a mistake. But it's a very hard problem to solve. And then who should be on the board of directors of the educational institution is also a very, very hard job to solve. So I think probably some disaggregation of control would make sense. I'm really just kind of thinking out loud creatively here.
But it sounds like